Shemai, I'm going to take a look at a very basic blues pattern today that we can play on our basses with the 12-bar blues. So I'm going to call this part 2 because I've already done a very basic 12-bar blues lesson for our basses. Today I'm going to step it up a notch and show you a pattern that you can play. It's a great pattern. It's easy to learn on the fretboard, all right, and it can make your blues bass line sound so much better than just plodding along on our root notes. So if you're not sure what the 12-bar blues is, please go and check out my first lesson. I'll pop a link in the description below because I really do start with the basics. 1, 4 and 5, the chords. In this case, we're playing it in A, so it's going to be A, D and E. And as you can see there, it has just appeared on the page with notation and with tab. So in the first lesson, I was just playing the root notes. Now this is a really simple pattern that we're going to play today. Let me just talk you through the notes for a minute. So we've got A7s, D7s and E7s again. The A7 chord bars will be an A, another A, because we're playing an octave higher, then a G, and then an E. So the frets are 5 on the E, 7 on the D, 5 on the D, 7 on the A string. I'll do it again slowly. Okay, and that is pretty much what we play whenever we see A7. Now the notes themselves, as I said, A and A, that's our first note of our chord. The G is actually our 7th note of the chord, hence why we're playing an A7 chord, and then our E is our 5th or dominant note of the chord. Okay, so we've got an A, G, E, A, G, E, A, and so on. So for the D7 chord, it's the same pattern. D, C, A, D, D, C, A, and again it's the same frets, 5th, 7, 5, 7 going across. And once you get into that pattern, okay, it does become easier. So for our E7, we're just going to move our whole hand up to the 7th fret, and it's the same pattern. We got E, D, B. I'm just going over it a few times. Okay, then we move our hand back for our D, and then we go across for our A again. All right, I'll do that one more time. So our A7s, then our D7s, then our E7s, we move up. Okay, so I'm just going to play that without the backing track for a moment, okay? Getting over to the D, back to A, E, back to D, over to A. Okay, and then it just goes round and round. And in fact, what you're seeing there, it's been written out 3 times. Okay, it's still a 12-bar blues, just 3 times. So let's have a listen to that now, but with the backing track. E, because that was our 12-bar blues chord progression played through once. Now, if you've watched my first video, okay, there is a pattern to these, and this is why it is useful to learn this pattern going across. For example, you turn up somewhere and you say, yeah, I know my 12-bar blues. And they say, right, we're going to play this song in G. And you go, oh, I only know it in A. All right, logically now, we're starting on 5th fret. If we're in A, which means my first finger is on an A. If I want to start in G, I've just got to find my G. As it is, it's 3rd fret. Exactly the same pattern. And so on, okay? If I wanted to play it in B, exactly the same pattern. And so on, okay? And that's the beauty of learning this pattern. And just to show you, right, this is it in G. Now, I'm not actually a massive lover of teaching via patterns because I've always taught using music theory and reading notes as well, all right? But there are definitely merits to learning patterns, and this is one of the biggest ones in that you can transfer your 12-bar blues pattern anywhere by just working out the first note. I've gone to the E one there, that's the only one where I would use an open string, because otherwise you've got to go all the way up and do it an octave higher to start with, which would be, and it means you are going to be going very high, all right? So I would, if I was playing it in E, I would play it with the open E. Okay, but other than that, you can work out your pattern going right the way on the E string to any note that you want to. So using that pattern now, but this time I'm going to put quavers into it again, okay? So it would be... and suddenly you've just upped your level again. Okay, now again, I have talked about straight and swing tempo before. If you're not sure what they are, I've done a whole video on it, all right? But I certainly mention it in the first of these blues lessons as well. Straight meaning even, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and swing tempo. It's like skipping. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. Okay, but if you're not sure how to do that, go and check out my previous videos. So let's see now what it sounds like. All we're doing exactly the same with our left hand following the chords. We are just playing the rhythm with quavers or 16th notes rather than crotchets and 8th notes. And that's the only thing I've done. And this one, I'm going to do it with a straight rhythm to start with. so on. Same thing, but with a swing tempo this time. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through those one more time, all the way through. So if you want to practice along with me, you can. And then I will put the two backing tracks straight and the swing backing tracks at the end of this video as well, okay? So this is our basic blues pattern, but playing it with quavers and a straight tempo. And with a swing tempo. So yeah, when you were listening to that then, you might have been there thinking, oh, there's something else missing. Yeah, don't panic. Watch the next lesson because I'm going to show you how to make it sound properly good for your blues. I do hope you are finding these useful. I have got a Patreon page if you'd like to support me here on the channel, and I'll pop a link in the description below for that. If you've got any comments or questions, please feel free, leave them below. Give us a like if you've enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos. Thank you for watching.